Good morning. Great to see so many of you here this early on, after a very busy build with a few interesting surprises and announcements over the last few days. Is anybody else here as surprised as we are that we actually managed to ship the Linux kernel inside Windows in WSL2? For those of you wondering what the heck I'm talking about, definitely go back and watch Craig Lowen's and Ben Hillis's talk from yesterday, going through Windows Subsystem for Linux 2, which is now shipping the Windows kernel inside Windows for us to boot up in less than 2 seconds when you open up a new Linux instance. And so quite exciting. And who thought that Microsoft would eventually build a new terminal, a new command line app? Anyone? Nobody? Really? Who's happy that Microsoft is building a new terminal? Woo! Good. We got the right crowd in the room. That's a good start. Who thought we'd ever open source it? Okay, great. Whoever thought that we would open source the Windows command line infrastructure along with said terminal? Not a dry eye in the house. Fantastic. So, if you're at this session expecting to see a brief description about the command line, you're in the wrong place. We're actually going to be spelunking into the source code of the terminal. Michael's going to be debugging this thing live on stage. What could possibly go wrong? And we're going to be giving you a view of what the terminal is, where it sits, how it works, how it fits into the overall landscape of the Windows command line, and giving you some highlights and some demos of the new terminal itself, etc., etc. As a matter of interest, who saw the video? Okay, you guys... The Windows command line terminal team are down here in the corner, so if you have questions, we've got you covered at the end. The video that you saw in the keynote, or some of that you saw in the keynote with the new terminal itself, has now had over 500,000 views in the last 48 hours. The terminal repo itself, what are we up to now? 25,000 stars. Sorry, say again? 25,000 plus stars. 25,000 plus stars. It's growing by the hour. So there seems to be considerable interest in the command line, which makes us really happy because we live in the command line all day long. So let's get kicking through a deck and a slide set and some stage setting stuff, and then toward the latter half, we're going to be delving into the source tree. I'm Rich Turner. I'm a program manager on the console and the Windows command line infrastructure. Previously worked on WSL as well.
I'm Michael Nixa. I am the senior developer on the console command line terminal project. I've been working on it since its rebirth 5 years ago.
So if any of the code demos go wrong, it's his fault.
Absolutely.
If you don't like any of the features, tough, we PMs get to decide that. So that's just the way the world works.
And we get to ignore you.
And then you get to ignore us, and then we get to have interesting conversations, which is always
fun.
Yes, it's true. What a world we now live in. We are building a new Windows terminal app. This is a screenshot of said terminal app. Notice the multiple tabs. Ooh. Notice the blurry backgrounds. For those who don't know what this app is, this is actually a Linux instance running inside this tab using a tool called tmux, which allows you to split up your command line pane into multiple panes and to run multiple applications simultaneously. In the bottom right, we're running the ubiquitous Fortune piping through Cowsay, piping through lolcat to make it colorful. Bottom left is the Linux command line version of Task Manager, which shows you your CPU utilization, memory utilization, running tasks and stuff. It's called HTOP. And up above is Vim showing some source code of a Mandelbrot generator, in fact. This was snapshot about a week ago, as we were trying to get the UI to behave properly so that we could announce it to you guys and so that you guys wouldn't think we were crazy when we were showing it to you. It's a very exciting thing. And we're open sourcing this thing. This has been a dream for a while, right?
Oh yeah, long time.
But not only the terminal, we're open sourcing the command line infrastructure of Windows itself. So has anybody in the room ever been interested in what the Windows source code looks like? Fair few of you, good.
Congrats, you now have some of it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So. Absolutely. And now we're accepting pull requests, so anything you want to see, tough, we're not going to let you. But no, seriously, if you have issues you'd like to help us fix, if you have contributions and improvements, we'd love to hear from you across the board. We'll talk more about that later. Contributions might include code, it might include tests, it might include documentation, samples, demos, all kinds of stuff. We'd love to hear from you and make this a really thriving GitHub repo that will benefit us all. So, how did we get here? It's been a while. Windows Console. In Windows, if you run CMD or PowerShell or WSL, or you run ipconfig or ping or whatever, they all run in the console. This is a similar screenshot from the one you just saw, except this one is the Windows console that gets created for you behind the scenes when you run a CMD. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail later. This is fairly old. This is the original Windows subsystem that essentially got built before there was a GUI, because when building a kernel, you need to be able to run it and test it, right? So the code itself is over 30 years old. Older than the devs working on it, ironically.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It is very battle-tested. It has been around for a long, long time, and it has run every command line application that's ever been run on Windows runs through the console. So it's a pretty well-tested, pretty well-known entity. I'm not saying that it's bug-free. It has its idiosyncrasies. It has its oddities. Michael will be able to frighten you with some of the things that are in the console, and you'll now be able to see those things and learn to live with some of them and help us fix others.
To do December 1990, fix this.
Yes,
Still
absolutely.
there.
Have you got that one to show?
I don't have that one to show, but it's still in there.
It is also fast, small, and efficient. Because it's so old, it's basically your most fundamental Win32 application with almost no dependencies. So console itself is a largely self-contained thing. And the console is not just the UI, it's also all of the command line plumbing in Windows implemented in a monolithic executable, which we've been trying to modernize over the last several years.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. So we've added many features. A few years ago, when I first joined the team, this wasn't possible. This didn't work. So I came back to Microsoft in 2016 to work on this stuff. This was a dumpster fire at the time. This just didn't work at all. So over the last few years, Michael and the team over here have been working really hard to add all manner of improvements, starting with, I think, transparency was one of the first, right?
Copy-paste was one of the first.
Copy-paste, proper line selection copy-paste, not rectangular. Yeah. That's a round of applause right there. Yeah. Start as we mean to go on, right?
It was build conference after that we put the VT in for the first edition of WSL.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, Michael, who's another member of the team, can't be here with us, but he built the 24-bit color support. 24-bit color in a console. Awesome. And more recently, we just added a conpty, which we'll explain what that is very shortly in a minute. But it essentially allows third-party terminal and server-type applications to communicate directly with the command line app on the other end. And Michael's been a bit busy.
We have overhauled tons and tons and tons of code. There's things tangled everywhere within the code base. When you change the size of the window, it changes the way that the APIs react. When you decide to change a preference, it somehow makes all sorts of other things fall down. So we've been picking everything apart into separate modules in order to try to come up with something maintainable, reusable, hopefully more secure than it was before.
One of my favorite moments actually throughout the whole project has been when Mike shouted out down the hallway one day and said, "Come and see this!" And he showed us the pull request that removed thousands of lines of code from the code base and replaced it with like 10, 15 lines of STL containers instead. It was a very happy moment for us all because that area was a bug factory and you no longer have to deal with that, which is nice.
There's the day that we changed the tech services framework to get pen input in the console, and we dropped 10,000 lines of code and we got pen input.
Yeah.
So
pretty good, right? Removing code adds features. Take that back to your management. It's great. While we've been doing this, you've been saying we're not doing enough, which we completely agree with.
You want more. You want tabs. You want emoji. For some reason, you all want emoji. Some days I want emoji, but I don't know. You definitely want UTF-8 in full Unicode. You want transparency that's not silly, where the entire window and the whole frame goes transparent, but you get something cool like the background blurs out while you have the opaque text on it. You want themes, you want styling, you want to customize literally everything. You want to hold down the space bar and have the CPU heat up to heat your room in the winter. Like, you want everything. And so do we. We would love to let you have every feature that we possibly can.
But there's a party pooper in the room, and the party pooper is backward compat.
Wah, wah, wah.
The reason for CMD and for the console to be added to Windows in the first place was to provide compatibility with MS-DOS, which, by the way, we open sourced the source code to MS-DOS 1.2 about 3 months ago. It's in the GitHub if you'd like to see it. I knew that would make you happy. So this thing was primarily built to be backward compatible then with MS-DOS, and today it remains just as importantly backward compatible with every batch script, every command line tool that you run today. One of the problems with the console is we can't do that much more to change the UX, because any of the things left in the UX that we want to change, like let's inject a tab control strip somewhere in here, breaks things.
Let's make it wider than one monitor.
Yeah.
Horribly breaks things.
Absolutely. So when we change things, we get to hear about it. And it's often not things like we've broken Dave's PC. It's things like the oil rig in the North Sea now can't drill. Right?
Lenovo's shipping line for machines can no longer operate and make machines.
Yes, we took down an OEM production line at one point, which was a lot of interesting fun for us. It's really, really tricky to change that console, in particular the console UX. So at some point, the rubber has to meet the road, and you have to make a decision about what to do next. And for us, the what to do next was to start building a modern terminal application that we all deserve, and which the industry needs in order for developers to be productive on Windows. That time is now. So let's have a quick look at what our and I have to make this clear. This isn't what the terminal looks like right now. What you're about to see is a video of where we anticipate it being in the 8 to 12 month time frame. But this will give you a taste of the kind of direction that we'd like to take the terminal in. Let me hit this. Oh. Apologies. 1 second.
Rich.
This is why devs don't trust PMs.
Rich.
And why we ignore them.
Why didn't you know that one?
It's still not there.
Drag.
You have to drag it over, really? Hang on.
Bud.
Get off. 2 people trying to drive one.
You're welcome. I fixed it for you.
Thank you, sir.
I move with style. I know you know I know how to run wild. Taking over the spotlight. I'm on a roll, ready for the show now. It's go time. Watch what I do. Watch what I do. I see you looking. Watch what I do. Oh my, my. Watch what I do.
Okay. Thank you. So it gives you a taste of where we'd kind of like to take this. Most of those features are actually there already. The feature where you see the extension being installed and then the link suddenly turns blue and you can hover over it and see a preview. We're planning on building that. We just haven't quite built it yet. But we're planning on getting there by V1. Shortly after V1 maybe, depending on how much time and quality, what quality looks like and so on. But we're planning on getting there. The tabs are there. Configurable tabs. You get to declare what those look like. And why don't we take a look at that, Michael? Why don't we switch over to your machine? You can give us a brief walkthrough of what this all looks like.
Guess whose machine went to sleep?
6? Surely not.
Surely, absolutely.
Okay.
Pardon me while I minimize half a dozen things.
So, this is the new Windows terminal.
Bam!
Bam!
Yeah.
All right. Woo! Thank you very much.
So it's real. We do have tab controls. We have multiple panes that we can swap through. I will launch one open here and open my WSL shell as well. We have a whole bunch of quick shortcuts available for you for each of the individual profiles that you might set for the command line applications that you like to use. Control-Shift 1 through 9, similar to Windows key 1 through 9 to launch them off your taskbar. We also have the ability to zoom the text in and out for folks who might have eyesight issues.
This was the first thing I asked the team to add when I joined, because I can never remember to bring my glasses with me. And as you're getting older, so some of us in the room, right, Dave, need eye help. So I asked him to do this, and no, we don't need that, we don't need that. It took him 2 years to eventually add it. And it's the first feature we added to the terminal last week.
So. 2 years of ignoring you, and then one meeting where you all complained, and I went back to my office and did it. I just moved my face closer to the screen.
So actually, do you have a high contrast thing underneath there? Can you show the other thing that you can do by Control Shift and Scroll?
You mean Control Shift and Scroll to drop the transparency out the back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but
so
the text
Control
stays
and
opaque.
Scroll zooms your text. Control Shift and Scroll zooms the blurriness.
But we did not drop the window frame or the text.
No.
That's
So you
exciting.
get to do this live. So if you've ever been to a presentation where someone opens up a console and goes, oh, I can't read at the back. So then we have to go and open up the properties and go to the fonts page and click 14 and click OK. Is that big enough? No, now you have to do it again to 18. That cycle, gone. Woo. You just now Control, Scroll, Zoom, you're laughing. Absolutely.
What are the things we got? We got some copy and paste. Everybody loves copy and paste. So we've got some copy and we've got some paste. Yeah.
So WSL users in the audience are probably going, fantastic, everyone else is going, we've had copy and paste. In WSL, we had some challenges with should we or should we not intercept keystrokes to perform copy locally, or not, or what, and we eventually fixed that a little while ago, but it's in the console as well.
Here's the important point, is that copy and paste is a preference, or is going to be a preference, because we have some Emacs folks who love having Control-C and V available to them.
Emacs users?
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah, yeah. They want their Control-C and V, so we try to stay out of their way, but all the rest of you can have Control-C and V.
Absolutely.
We have a drop-down menu where your profiles will show up as you set them. I will go into the settings here and show you an example of what comes through. We have a JSON file that is fully configurable with the various settings. We can choose the row size, you can adjust how the tabs look, and we can make other profile preferences with your font choices, with your size choices. But the neat thing about this is, and I'm going to tile this very weirdly, the neat thing about this is we have it so when you change the JSON file and save, it refreshes live on the other side. So the cool thing about it, yeah.
They're all clapping because they helped build it, so
Yeah, well,
they're cheating, ignore them.
The reason it's cool to be in a JSON file is because you can take it with you wherever you want. It's hard to take all of the obtuse settings that we had in the past with you. It's hard to synchronize them, but JSON is the way for
And now
many people to do so.
You can store this JSON file in your OneDrive, create a symlink, and now all of your machines will get the config settings, right? So roaming these things across machines was one of the highest asks that we get from the community. How do I take my settings from here to here? And it was always tricky and difficult and awkward. Now we just take a JSON file everywhere you go and off you're off to the races. Okay, so let's get back into the deck for now. We'll come back to the terminal later as Michael starts working through some of the code.
We'll have to get to one of our most important features, and that's the code.
The code, yeah. The code is a feature.
Yeah.
So that's a taste of the terminal. There's a lot more yet to come. The repo went open yesterday. On Monday, I should say. We literally pushed the code at the beginning of the keynote where it was announced from the booth downstairs in the expo hall, and we weren't nervous at all. So we also renamed the repo at that time, and that was the first time this code has ever hit the public. So we are very early in this process. We are looking forward to working with you all and hearing your feedback, seeing your PRs, working with you to get those committed into the code, and working together on building a really beautiful terminal moving forward. So we did the video. So some of the goals for V1. And this is not the only shipment we're going to be making. This is just the target, trying to see if we can land this by the end of the year. Lots of planned features, multiple tabs, background transparency, connectivity to lots of things. What if you could connect to your Raspberry Pi over there that's monitoring your weather system just by dropping down, click My Raspberry Pi, boom, there's your SSH connection to your Raspberry Pi, right? This stuff will make things a lot easier and a lot more convenient for daily use. So we're trying to make that a reality.
We got my favorite part of it, because I work in this all the time, and that's we're going to use direct write to do text. But we're going all the way to the bottom layers, so we can choose to do whatever we like with the text. We can make it glow, we can make it marquee and blink if you like the HTML of old. Anything that we want to do, and with high performance and fidelity, which is amazing. And as a consequence, we get access to global characters, which we did not have before. We always had to leave out other languages and other countries because we just didn't have the framework, and now we have everybody. And of course, we have Emoji. And we have programming ligatures, where we see the two equal signs collapse into one. Some people prefer it, some people do not. We want to offer the ultimate in choice.
And please ignore my colleague when he suggested that we introduce the marquee.
I'm totally going to do it.
And you
know I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I don't.
We're going to make a new VT sequence for it.
You know what, PMs can delete code as well, right? So we're going to be delivering this via the Windows Store. We want you to be able to install this independent of Windows. You will need a particular version of Windows to run this on, because there's a bunch of platform support stuff that we had to have in the platform. So 1903, the version of Windows that's rolling out right now, will be your base OS platform. But from then on, we plan on delivering this via the store so that we can ship to you every couple of weeks or so, and you can get updates on a regular cycle, and we can keep everyone up to date as we rapidly move this thing forward and improve it over time. End of the year is when we're targeting releasing this. Mike, my boss's boss down here, gave me a hard time the other day and said, hey, well, what if it's not the end of the year? And I said, well, if you're saying we can slip, we can add more features in. But we'll see how we go. We'll see how the quality level looks. We'll take feedback from yourselves. If you think it's good, let us know. If you think it's got some issues and we need to deal with those, let us know. And we'll work with you to triage those things and see if we can land a decent quality terminal by the end of the year. So, with that, let's take a step back a little. Let's start peeling the onion open here. We've talked about the UI features and goals and aspirations and things. Let's take a look at what actually goes on under the hood when we start running command line applications. Now, for those of us like David, down at the front here, and myself and a few others with maybe a smattering of salt and pepper, who've been around this world for a bit, will remember the very old days of teletypes and green screen terminals connected via RS-232 cables to mini computers somewhere, having to wait 25 minutes to compile 5 lines of Pascal and all that kind of stuff. The model for command line has pretty much stayed the same ever since. That is the model today. On one side, we have a terminal application which sits there and listens for your keyboard input. And whatever characters you type in get squirted out of the wire to the thing on the other end, whatever that may be. We don't know what it is, but we just send characters out. And it listens on a port for stuff coming back, waiting for characters to come back from the thing on the other end, whatever it may be.
And then on the other side, this is the key difference that's always hard for people to understand, is that there's a separation. There's the command line application or a shell or any other utility that doesn't do anything except understand characters coming in, decide to maybe do something with them, and then potentially emit characters out. It has no interface, it doesn't know what's going on with the user, nothing.
Nothing. So the two ends know nothing about each other, so how do they get this data back and forth? Well, it's simple. In the middle, we have some kind of communication goo, some kind of stuff that transports data from one thing to the next, and those things are basically in-out pipes. So we're just passing text back and forth. I pass text to you.
I do something with it, and I pass text back to you.
I receive the text back, and I draw those characters on the screen, one after the other. That's it. That's as simple as a console is. Why has it taken us this long to build a new one? Right? That's the model of today. It's also the model on the Linux platform. The Linux platform basically took the middle bit and virtualized it and abstracted it so that we have a pseudo terminal in Linux, which essentially takes care of all the stuff in the middle, but fundamentally the model hasn't really changed. Now, 30-odd years ago, when we were building NT for the first time, we said, hey, you know what we should do? We should modernize this model. Windows has a different philosophy than Linux. In the Linux world, everything is a file. Everything is represented as a file, as a path, as a pipe. In Windows, everything is represented via objects and APIs. They're two totally orthogonal perspectives on the world. Neither one is right or wrong. In some cases, some things are easier, some things are better. But they're totally orthogonal views of the world. And so in Windows, we started the other way around. We said, instead of starting a terminal, you will start a command line app. So that's why you run CMD, and you run PowerShell, and you run Bash, and you run applications. Has anyone ever run conhost.exe? You guys stop cheating. So conhost.exe is the terminal app.
You start running
Windows,
the command line,
console
and the OS realizes that, hey, buddy, you're going to need one of these, and it goes and finds it for you and puts the UI around the window. So that's where we get stood up.
Absolutely.
But
So you run CMD, and Windows goes,
hey, have a con host.
and it then attaches the two. So the con host contains a UI and contains core GUI and logic, and presents an API. So your command line applications call those APIs to set foreground color, set background color, emit text, move the cursor, yada, yada, yada. How many?
74 odd APIs.
74 odd APIs, which you get to look at the source code of when you get out of here. Okay? And so your applications invoke those APIs to manipulate and control and influence the command line infrastructure itself and the contents of the console window. In reality, what's going on is, underneath the hood here,
We all run through a driver that takes the process communication between the two of them. It effectively turns things kind of back into the Unix model with packets going through in an abstract fashion, and then turns them back into an object model function base on the other side. It's just significantly more complicated than perhaps it always has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially what we're doing is we're marshalling method calls from your command line application via the kernel to this other process, which is your con host instance, marshalling those calls across the kernel through a driver that we own.
Since I got flagged for it earlier, the IOCTL is an IO control call,
Yes,
because it's actually a
true.
device driver. So.
It is a device driver call, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So that plumbing isn't actually that important for this conversation, so we'll omit it from future slides. But just know that whenever you call a Windows API to do something to the console, it's actually sending a message under the hood up through the kernel into the console infrastructure, which then receives that message, decodes it, executes it, and sends a response back. So it's an RPC client-server type of communication model. So in the future, we're turning things back around again, because the command line world has spoken loudly, and the Linuxy, Unixy model of this world is more flexible. It's easier to remote across machines. It's easier for the command line to work more like the Linuxy thing than the Windowsy thing. So in the future, rather than running CMD and PowerShell, if you do that, you'll still just get a con host instance spun up. But in the future, if you want a decent UX to play with, you'll run terminal. And when terminal starts up,
we'll go to your profile and we'll pick your application. Or you can choose whatever application that you want to launch inside of it, or multiple applications and multiple tabs.
And your applications will need to continue to call the API, because who fancies rewriting the last 30 years worth of Windows command line applications?
Yeah, absolutely no hands. No, one hand.
Oh, there's one.
Rewrite 'em.
I take it you're an independent consultant, sir. Yes?
Yeah.
Thought you might be. Awesome. So if anybody wants applications rewritten, go and see this gentleman at the back over here. For everyone else, they're probably going to want to keep their existing apps running just the way they always have and not have to go and touch them. So we have to be able to support the API calls. So we need an API.
So to get the API, we have to keep the core components of the existing console host window ready and available to serve the APIs. And we have that in our headless version of the console host window, which takes all of the calls, carries out their effects inside the environment that the application is always used to, and then it will synthesize them into something that is equivalent to the it goes over the console driver interface, and it will synthesize them using our PTY that we released in
1809.
1809.
Yes, finally, fully.
Code name to number, code name to number. In 1809, in order to cause effects on any terminal. It can be our terminal, it could be a third-party terminal, it could be a terminal that you ported from Linux. Any of them, they all speak the same language.
And this is the value of the PTY. We mentioned it very early in the slide deck. It's one of the more recent innovations we've added to the console and Windows command line infrastructure. And that PTY, that con-PTY infrastructure is similar to the Linux world, where we had a PTY that sort of abstracted all the communication stuff. That's where we do it. And what it means is that anyone who wants to write a Windows terminal or an application that directly drives any command line application can do so just by creating a PTY, hooking up a couple of pipes, launching the application that you want attached to the other end of the PTY on the right-hand side there, and you can just talk text via in-out. Right? So it's a simpler model for interacting with command line applications, and brings us closer to a model, or the Linux, Unix world model of command line apps. Okay. So why is this important?
On the left side of the diagram, we have happy Nix developers who have all of their tools that have spoken virtual terminal sequences since forever.
On the right-hand side, we have happy Windows developers. Refer back to the gentleman over here who will help you convert your apps if you want later as well. But most of the time, we're going to have happy Windows developers because you won't have to go and find the source code to that command line app that is part of your line of business application that God knows where the source code is and who wrote it 15 years ago, but it will still continue to run. So we have happy Nix developers on one side and happy Windows developers on one side and very happy Windows developers on the other side. Sorry for ruining your revenue model, Issa. So when it comes to tabs, we have a similar model now. Now we have a consistent worldview. When we open a tab,
it suddenly becomes apparent that we can start a PTY in the middle in order to service all of the API calls and attach one shell on there, perhaps cmd.exe. And then why not start a second one in the background since you can't see it and let it serve the API calls from a second application like PowerShell, and start a third one and have it serve your bash calls from any of our partners' Linux distributions.
So this is consistent now. Now we have the ability to invoke command line applications per tab. Now we can add tabs to the console. Hooray! Guess why we built the compty, right? So now we have an understanding of what the world looks like from a 10,000-foot block diagram perspective. Let's go for a trip through the Windows source code. I mean the terminal source code.
Fun. Now it's my turn. This is the most exciting. Okay, let's do it. So when we get to the terminal source code, we'll go to our brand new GitHub page, which many of you might have seen already.
What? How many stars?
How many stars? I don't know. How many stars do we have?
36 hours?
Does it
24,
877.
almost
You lied to us earlier. You said it was over 25K.
Kayla did say we're approaching 25K. I was hoping that by the time we got to this point of the session, we're like 300 off or 250.
We have an informal bet. He's at 22K and I'm at 30K, so I need 5,000 friends to start by noon. So we, yeah.
Everyone tweet, right? Let's see if we can do that by the end of the session.
So, not going to teach you how to do Git, but we would clone the repository. I will attempt to do it live because I'm a sucker for punishment. And if it doesn't work, we will go to one of the other 10 copies I already have. Yeah, exactly. So, ta-da, it's done, it's out. We will go into the new one. And we have a couple of things that we have to do. Now, this is early, it's rough. We understand that it might be a little bit difficult to get building. We are trying actively, even during this conference, we are PRing updates to the README to explain it. We need to go and get our submodules. Whoop, bam. Oh, and excuse me, I'm not using the terminal to do this right now because if I use the terminal and attempt to replace the terminal while I'm showing you the terminal, bad things are going to happen. So for this part, I will just show you it in the con host, which you do have the source code to as well. So we'll go one of those. And then finally, of course, let's see, I clicked the wrong one. We have more dependencies in here. We have NuGet dependencies, so great. NuGet is always hard to find, so we just kind of crammed a copy of NuGet into the repository as well, so we can go find it right away. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I'm sure somebody will pointedly tell us a better way to do this.
Or submit a PR.
Yeah, or submit, well, like 300 people will pointedly tell us we're wrong, and one guy will step up and do a PR.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can change the balance on it a little bit. So now we're ready to go. We've got a project. So I open it in Visual Studio. Other members of our team are not so Visual Studio friendly. They prefer to do everything still at the command line. So we can take a look at the folders that we have inside. And inside our tools directory at the bottom is the scripts for the CMD people and the PowerShell people. And I know we should really all be PowerShell people right now, but some of us really can't break our bad habit of running batch scripts. So we have both of them over here. Couple of little jokes in here is that internal to Windows, when we start up development for developing OS code, the batch script to set our environment variables is called Razzle. So we've kind of recreated that here to bring a little flavor of our fun over. So we run Razzle, set up our environment variables, we're ready to go. And another joke is BCZ and BZ are build clean and just build incremental. Those are other things that we're just so familiar with Windows, we brought them to the outside, so deal with it, I guess. Or jump back to Visual Studio if you prefer. So I'm going to click the wrong tab instead of Visual Studio, and then we're back in Visual Studio. And I can give you an overview of the sorts of folders that are in here. In the top, we have build goo, as you will. Goo is our team's favorite word, so I'm sorry, we have to They're absolutely not.
There is
favorable.
cringing going on.
Yeah, they're cringing over it. All of our props files dictating how things are built, not as exciting. Our dependencies, which include the most recently open-sourced Microsoft Will libraries, the Windows implementation libraries, which make using Win32 not as painful as it might have been in the past. We're well aware that some APIs return D words and H results and NT statuses, and some throw exceptions. We have this problem all the time. We did internally. Now you all can have the same library that'll help round all of these things together. We've built it into our project as well.
And Will is open source now as well, as of a few days ago. So you can
GitHub.com,
actually employ Will in your own projects and systems too.
GitHub.com, Microsoft Will. That's one of the submodules that we pulled. GSL is another one to try to write modern C++. Guidelines support library, I think is what it is. You can take a look into that if you're really interested in modern C++, though you're going to have to be interested in C++ to get into this code, so I'm warning you right now. Next down, we have our tools directory, which is odds and ends that we use to either run test automation, to do silly things, to break apart link files and find where the settings are stored, or in order to experiment with virtual terminal sequences while we're trying to build things on there.
What's nihilist?
Oh, yeah. Nihilist. So in order to keep a console session open, I needed something to just sort of sit there and exist until eternity but do nothing. And I thought I was kind of funny, and I called it nihilist, and it's really just one little main method that sits there and sleeps until the end of time.
You should have called that PM.
Anyway, it's a fundamental part of our feature testing infrastructure, so just deal with it. Basically, like everything else in here, it's just something that, I don't know, I have to get my dig in somehow. Then at the bottom, we have what we're actually here to look at. Well, maybe we're here to look at all of it. We have the console host on the one side, which is the traditional environment that we always had and includes all of the source code that has been in conhost, including what is currently built in your Windows image. We have terminal on the other side at the bottom, which is all of the new, shiny, flashy, fancy, tabbed stuff. And in the middle, we have shared components because we spent 5 years digging around in this code, and we actually feel a couple of the components are not half bad by now. When building the terminal, I think we tried 17 different things in order to get various tech stacks up. And at lunch one day, other Mike, who is off remote, said, "Man, I've had to implement another buffer." I'm like, "Bud, why are you implementing a buffer? Don't we have a perfectly good one we've been spending 4 years on over here?" And he's like, "I don't know how I didn't think of that." So we have plenty of good components that are shared between the two. The buffer is one, the stuff that holds the data in the background. We have our rendering components, including the ones that are drawing all of our beautiful text on the screen and the ones that draw our ugly old GDI text if you want to go digging around. And our virtual terminal library with our C++ parser and adapters to interpret all of the sequences and convert them into the other API calls. Some of them are not directly transferable to API calls. Dig in, find out. So inside the terminal side, we have our various application levels. We have our application, our connection, our control. The connection speaks to conhost. The core sits inside a control, which sits inside the app, which sits inside layers. We have to abstract and abstract more. So
just one thing to point out here actually is that the console control itself, the thing on the screen that you see that draws the text that comes out from applications, this bit is a control of its own that will also be making available to you for you to be able to incorporate into your own applications. We're working with, for example, Visual Studio, who are interested in incorporating the real real terminal inside Visual Studio inside the terminal panel, rather than the rather old, aged, not able to understand VT properly terminal that they have in right now. So we're working with them on that over the next few months.
This is always the trick. There's not a common control to do this sort of thing. And when you live in the terminal environment, things are in a grid. They're monospaced. They're perfect. None of the existing controls like rich text controls, text boxes, text blocks, all of those sorts of reusable controls, they don't really care when things sort of flow out into whatever proportional font. They don't necessarily care that things need to be rendered, well, no, not need to, want to render 3,000 times a second to unblock the I/O. They don't care, but we do. So that's why we're building the control. On the other side of the fence, we have the console host. That's really not as exciting, but I'll just let you know that it has all of the pieces that we used to build that one. The shared part is what's exciting. So what I want to do is I want to dive in and I want to show you a change that can be made that will actually affect both worlds at the same time. We built a new renderer with DirectX in order to make things exciting. and we have the power to do whatever we want. Inside our custom text renderer, if we launch by default, we see that everything just looks like plain old text. And when we go and we take the background out, if I held Shift instead of just Control, we drop the background out and the text is opaque. But one common problem that you might notice when you have subtitles or text overlays, you've probably seen it, you need to outline the text in order to see it when the background goes away. Common problem with laying text over things. So I thought, why not do something cool? Why not make the text glow around the outside with an outline? And we can do that now. So inside of our custom DirectX renderer, we can go down, and I have written the method earlier, so I'm not attempting to look up DirectX things on Stack Overflow and on MSDN in front of you. Because of course. So at the bottom, I've written a draw glow glyph run function, which will come through and get our factory, get all of our glyph outlines. This is all the nitty-gritty stuff about text that you probably never wanted to know about, but I find absolutely fascinating. So if you don't like it, fine, it's mine. But we're going to get the glyph run outlines. We're going to use matrix math, which is something that I don't even want to touch, but I guess I have to. I haven't done any actual real math since I left college 9 years ago. So move it into the correct position and make our outline brushes. Now, if I were to actually complete this feature, we'd probably want to select the colors, but I'm lazy, so I have a red striped outline with a white striped text, and we're going to put this code in instead of the outline that was there. So I will go find where it is drawing text right now up here in draw glyph run, and I will take it out. I will hit the wrong key, and then I will take it out because my FN function changed while I was typing. Control K, C, and then I will come down here to my draw glow text run, and I will put it in. But I know there's a little bit of trickery here because I actually did this several refactorings ago, and I have an unreferenced parameter here. That one's too hard to type, so I'm just going to put brush in here before it kills me. Because we treat warnings as errors. This is one of the things that we do inside the Windows source code, so we brought it out to the outside. There's a whole bunch of errors that we enforce, and because technically this came from Windows, we intend to keep up the Windows coding guidelines as much as possible in case we get to consume components back in. We would love to consume components back in. Your contribution might end up back inside of Windows. So unreferenced parameter.
Let me just restate that.
Yeah.
If you make a contribution, especially to the shared componentry, that ends up affecting console as well as Windows, your code may end up back inside Windows when we ship a subsequent release, right? That means you say you think that's cool. Who thought that was cool?
One of our team.
Interest. Oh. Which means, however, that we do have to maintain the Windows check-in rules and guidelines, and so we're going to be stringent about code reviews and so on, but we'll work with you and trying to accept as many of those as we can.
Someone's going to call us out now because we're going to skip something, and we're like, but the Windows code review said so,
Yes.
and we're going to be like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we try our best.
We try.
So the other thing to note here is when I mentioned will before, we have these macros that you'll find all over the code base, round all of our errors out. Normally people hate early returns, normally people hate go-tos. These macros sort of hide the early returns and go-tos, but the big advantage to using will is that in debug modes, everything shows up in the debugger when a failure comes up. It shows you the function, it shows you what happened, you can break in right there, and it also provides ETL or ETW events that occur. So for anyone familiar with event tracing, you can go in and watch the events come through. It's great for when somebody's machine is failing for a questionable reason, and you go over to them and you attach the event viewer, and ta-da, there you go, you have all your results. But while they're running without the event viewer, nothing is in the way. Event tracing for Windows is enormously complicated and hard to understand, but it is really good at being out of the way when nobody is actually listening for the events. So, return if failed, brush, let's rebuild, and if it doesn't work, I do have another copy, but let's see. This is where rubber meets the road. Is this actually going to work? See, I should have hit the run button and then talked about the will. See, this is my problem, is I start doing this and I lose all of my speaker training, which I'm sure somebody is mortified about, but I mean, they let me out of my box and I'm a dev. So here we go. We have our glow text. But this is on the terminal. I said it was a shared component. As a part of running this, we can launch either the Cascadia package, Cascadia. Project Cascadia was our code name before we had to come up with a better name. So there's still lingering references that we will stomp out. It's Project Cascadia, it's Windows Terminal. We're getting rid of them. Congrats, we've shared our code name with you. Aha. The other side of the fence is the console host window. We can actually go launch the console host window on your OS as a separate one, the one that's not in System 32. You can have your own local copy if you like. it will just connect up to the driver interface like the other one would. So we'll run that one, and we'll see that, hey, look, we have the glow text inside the console host window as well, the non-fancy tabbed one. Just one example of the shared components between them. Why might we want to do this? Because as we had said, we were unable to support languages and locales and people around the world in their text usage because GDI had limitations. Direct write and the layout engine does not have limitations. So we want to consume the rendering things back because we want to enable everyone everywhere to be able to use the text in whichever prompt that they choose, whether it's the one that comes with Windows for people restricted like that, especially in enterprise environments or in server environments, or if it's this one that you go download because you're really passionate about having a cool looking terminal. So whichever you like. So there's that one. Now,
Let's do one more, yeah.
you want one more? One more code change? Okay. So that's a shared component. One of the other things that we want to do is we have this brand new UI, and you tromp in here and you want to add something new to the UI. Well, I'm going to go add something that I think is really quick and easy. Is in this drop-down menu where we have our assorted other profiles, I want to add a link back to the GitHub page because we have settings, which will open up your settings JSON with your default handler that you can edit. We have feedback, which will go to Feedback Hub, but I'm not going to click because this is a debug build and it's not going to connect properly. So just warning you right there. I'm going to add a tab to go back to GitHub. So I will go over to the terminal application component, and I'm going to find the location where the feedback, feedback. This is how I do it too. So I'm not the dude who did the XAML part of it. So other Mike did a majority of this. So this is actually weird territory for me to be flying around in the XAML. So I feel like I'm with you in that you don't understand any of my code. So I'm going to be like digging around through Mike's code. So wish me luck. But we're going to do what most good developers do, and we're going to take the existing one, and we're just going to copy and paste to make ourselves a new icon. And then we will change all of this to a new flyout menu item for this particular one. And please sass me about my lack of shortcuts in Visual Studio. I'm still no good at this, despite doing it for a whole bunch of years. GitHub button click. Let's get a new icon, GitHub icon. Let's change this icon over to here, link it all up, and then of course I need a handler for it. I probably need to make it say GitHub on the icon. Then I need a handler, so let's again pull the copy paste. All good programmers know how to do this one. We'll just change this out. I mean, really, this is where you then go into a code review and somebody sasses you about reusable code and you refactor it into a module, and we will probably do that sometimes 70% of the time, 60% of the time, works every time. One of those sorts of things.
Copy and paste as a service.
Yeah,
right. We should put that in Azure.
So right next to DevNull is a service,
Definitely.
and the GUID recycler service, where you can drop off a GUID you're not using anymore so somebody else can use it. Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah. Well,
you haven't seen that one before? That's pretty good.
It's a finite resource, right?
Yeah. So we'll change our URI to go to the other one and hope that a default handler is set on this machine. That's not Microsoft.com, see? This is the problem, is we own all these properties, and now I don't know which goes where, so you're just going to have to bear with me. And the comment is now wrong, which is another thing we sass everybody about on a code review, and I didn't declare the function inside the header, so this is our favorites. Right-click, go to definition, go to declaration, find all references. I'm sure you're familiar, but this is how you're going to have to navigate this code base, because I don't think any individual one of us understands all of the code base. My team would probably say I understand the most of it, but even so, I don't understand all of the code base. And congrats, now you get to not understand all of the code base along with the rest of us. But the same could be said about just about anything in the Windows source code. So we go back here and go to GitHub button on click. Hopefully I've connected this all up correctly, but I believe I am missing one thing, an icon. Let's go get a good icon. Yeah. I'm gonna go to the char map. I'm gonna steal an asset that somebody in the design team has already put here because I don't wanna go find my own asset. So what looks good? Globe? Globe for a website, or how about star?
Ooh,
all of the stars we're trying to get on the repository, yeah.
Stars.
Let's put a star in there. So we got EOOA, and here's the moment of truth. I'm changing a whole bunch of stuff, and we're going to see if it actually. Well, let's see. I hit Control F5. That's a me bad.
Default project.
Yeah, my bad. Jump back to the other project, and run. One key thing that I did not mention earlier is that for the reason that the console host is powering all of this stuff, the architecture of what you're building has to match. A lot of people are happy with running x32 or x86 or 500 billion different Win32, 500 billion different names for it on x64 and just expecting it to work. That does not work for us, and it's because of the driver interface. We have to have the driver matching the architecture of the goo in the middle. Yeah, Captain Goo. So if this one takes too long, because it is still compiling, and I am on a laptop, whereas normally I have my dev box, which goes 10 million miles an hour. I do have another copy of this floating around, but I'm really hoping it works live, because I think it's cooler when you change the code live. So the other important thing to note, which I can talk about briefly, is our solution configurations of debug versus release. We get into this problem all the time. Release is optimized code. Release sucks to debug. But if we're taking a look at how things work and we're in debug mode and attempting to do performance analysis, none of the characteristics match anymore. Oh, look, see, I failed. Wah, wah, wah. You know why I failed? Because I had one running. I told you that I was going to use conhost because it doesn't work when I have one running. And what did I do? I did it when one was running. So we'll send it from layout, and it will run the package, and whoop, get out like So we can change the UI too. And so that's what we welcome you to do, to come in and either dig into the deep end and change shared components that are between both of them, just work on the UI if you like to do that. Of course, there are a couple of other things to know, but I'm running short, so I will go a little quickly here. If I'm not already talking way too quickly, we are going to go and we technically have tests. I'm just saying. There are a handful, yeah, we do, I know, right? It's very surprising. Admittedly, most of our tests are for the old console host, but we are attempting to mimic the way that we've tested that one in the new one. The trick to know here is that you might have used MS Test or VS Test out of Microsoft before, and only if you've used the driver kit have you might have seen TAFE or TE as a test execution engine. That's a thing that we use throughout all of Windows to power literally all of our tests. And it does in some ways interface with Visual Studio, in some ways it does not, but these tests are written in TAFE. The thing that you will notice differently if you actually go find any one of the test modules is that the macros are different and the imports are different. But anyone who's tested before, you gotta mark up the methods, you have to use verifications. This one looks like TAFE instead of looking like MS Test. Congrats, it's very similar. So we would do something like run some of our tests. Here we go, let's see if we can do one of these. I'm going to run one batch of tests. Nope, see, I'm in the wrong prompt. So which one was this one? This one is terminal. We're going to go back down. Terminal. I have a patch in here for me earlier when I was doing something stupid. We need to go to Razzle. We need to go to set debug because this is when I made the mistake during my dry run. And here we have run unit tests, and we can select them by name. I'm going to select some of them because there are thousands of them. Oh, see, I failed again. Because my path variable is still wrong. Anyway, we have unit tests, we have feature tests, we have UIA tests. The UIA tests are driven by WinAppDriver, which happen to also be owned by our team. WinAppDriver is an app version of effectively Selenium WebDriver for clicking around on the UI. And one of the, yeah, I see one hand up there. Yeah, Selenium WebDriver and AppDriver. So we love it because it tests things in a very similar way that people are used to. And the other thing we love about it is it tests via our accessibility UIA tree. So we get to not only test things the way the rest of the world does, we get to test things the way that the accessible world sees it through applications like Narrator or third-party applications. And then finally, I think you said that I promised I was going to attempt to debug two things at once. So let me see if I can debug two things at once, because there's a key problem here. Oh, yep. And the key problem is that I'm no good at what I do. So here we go. We're going to debug the Windows terminal on the front, but I told you that there was a console host behind it. And certain things jump between the two applications, especially when you enter a character like J, you think it's real easy. Well, of course, the terminal just displayed the J on the screen. No. The J was turned into a character. It was sent down into the PTY. The PTY and the conhost engine saw the character and relays it to CMD. CMD decides, I want to echo that to the screen. Hands it back up to the PTY, hands it back up to the terminal. That's why there's the separation. We told you earlier that things were, I don't know if we used dumb, we've used dumb before. They're dumb. They don't think about the things on the outside, and like a dumb terminal is what it used to be called. So each step has its own function. So I will attempt to live debug through both of them. This is going to be very exciting. So I need to go find the other process. We'll find them under here. inside the dropdown, I need to go get the PID. There's the PID, 16228. We are going to find the session that I actually launched this from, which is orange, and attach to both of them at the same time. If I recall, it was 16228. And then we'll drill in and see what happened with that character. So on the terminal side of the fence, we can go in to the connection where the characters come in. I said there was a connection earlier that relayed the information back and forth. And we can find the input function, which should be where it says write input right here. And then I said there's the other side of the fence over in the console host where we are going to receive that character and put it into the buffer. So I will go find the buffer, input buffer, come on, live debugging, come on, live debugging. Input buffer and write. Austin, where'd you put it? Where'd you put it, Austin? There we go. So we each have our own areas of expertise in this. So I will hit a character. I hit K this time. We can see that it came in on the terminal side of the fence. We have the character, K, and then, man, I missed. So I'm going to go back to the other one, and I will, yeah. See, this is the problem with the live thing, is I now clicked stop instead of pause when I wanted to add a breakpoint. It will hit on the other side of the fence, and you can drill in and see it go all the way through, including into CMDXC, including back up and into the top of the stack. So
Awesome.
that's
Thank you,
what
sir.
I got.
Great stuff. It's 2019, and we've just seen live debugging and live code editing of the Windows source tree in front of a live audience, and we haven't been fired yet.
If we get fired, at least the code is open and I can still have it.
There is that, absolutely. So, wrapping up, how to get involved. We need your help with this stuff. We can build a terminal and we can push it out there and you can go, oh, I don't like that. That won't be very productive for any of us. So we'd much rather get involved with you and work with you and hear from you and discuss with you what features you'd like to see in the future in the console, in the terminal. We'd like to work with you. Those of you who may have experience of building terminals on other platforms, we'd love to work with you on seeing how we can help you bring your skills and experience to the Windows terminal and help us build a really beautiful experience moving forward. You can get the code now. We're planning on shipping the first self-hostable version of this via the Windows Store this summer in just a few weeks. For those of you who don't want to get into the code itself, we'd still love you to use the terminal and to give us feedback. Send us feedback via Feedback Hub if it's simple. If it's a more detailed issue, file an issue on our GitHub repo, and we can converse with you and ask you maybe for logs and traces and screenshots and have a conversation with you back and forth. But please do dive into the repo, take a good look around, interact with us on GitHub prior to doing any work, because we don't want 3 people trying to work on the same thing and wasting time. But if 3 people want to collaborate on that thing, we can put you in touch with each other as well. And we can provide you mentorship and guidance and tips and tricks and how to do this stuff properly and make sure that you meet the Windows Coding Standards bar and things like that.
If anything, go in there and find all the fun things like to do December 1990 and load-bearing code, please don't touch, we don't know why.
Yes. There may be a few of those, and if you can tell us why we should not touch that code, that would be great, because we can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Please get involved. Please give us feedback. Get involved. Get in touch. Ping us on Twitter. Kayla, who's down here as well, myself, Michael, and many of the team are hanging out on Twitter far too much. I mean, quite a lot every day.
You're the Twitter man.
Right, Mike? And we'd love to discuss with you. So with that, thank you very much indeed for your time. Any questions? We have some microphones here.
For 2 minutes, and then we'll be at the booth all day, probably.
Yeah, we'll be outside now and then booth all day if you have any questions.
I've got a question.
Mr. Platt.
Yes, David Platt, author of the book Why Software Sucks. On the web at whysoftwaresucks.com. But seriously, folks, my question is, I'd like to know about your user base. What kinds of things have you done to find out what sorts of users use the console, and what did you do to find that out, and what did you find out when you did that?
That's a great question. So what have we done to try and explore and investigate who the users of the console are? One of the great things about the console is that it's used by everybody. It is astounding how many tools behind the scenes, when you hit build in Visual Studio, they spawn a console and build it in the console and stream the output back and then put it into the nice UI for you. There are thousands and thousands of tools that interact with the command line infrastructure underneath, but there's also lots of users, developers. We do a lot of customer interviews with real humans who use the console and the command line infrastructure who have direct feedback. We hear from people on Twitter hundreds of times a day. We hear of people who file issues through Feedback Hub. We have customers who we interact with via the EBC and various customer engagements. Partners from all around the globe contact us on a regular basis. So we have a huge audience of people, and every single person's different. Every single person has a different need, a different perspective, a different viewpoint, a different ask, a different want, a different hate, a different love.
Thus the customization.
Yes. So when we come to design the features and we go, we think it should be red, no, we think it should be blue, we say, stuff that, let's put it in a setting and let you tweak it. That's the general mindset.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
We have 3, 2, 1 seconds, so I'm guessing we're going
3, 2,
to
1,
more
we're done.
questions.
Thanth you very much.
Down at
Appreciate
our
your time.
booth. Come and talk to us.